All right, so there's been a lot of hype around Tesla's new solar panel, but is it really as revolutionary as everyone says? I personally don't think so. I think it's a good panel with quality metrics, but if you're expecting some massive leap in technology, you're going to be underwhelmed. And here's the thing, none of that even matters. The real story here has almost nothing to do with the solar panel or the specs, and it has everything to do with what Tesla is building behind the scenes, and nobody seems to be talking about it. So in this video, we're going to break down all the specs, key features, and how this panel stacks up against a competitive option in the industry today. But more importantly, we're going to discuss why I think this move might end up being a huge advantage for both Tesla and the solar industry as a whole. Let's get into it. All right, so let's quickly go through all of the specs. With this panel, Tesla has released two new sizes. They have a 415 watt option and then a 420 watt option. We're going to focus on the 420 watt variant today, but they're both extremely similar panels, all things considered. So let's go ahead and start with some of the basics. We have 420 watts at 20.5% efficiency, and solar efficiency is just the percentage of sunlight that a solar panel can turn into usable electricity or usable power. And to give you some context, the current bar for a quality residential panel in the industry today is roughly 20 to 23% efficiency, a little bit closer to 22 or 23%, maybe a hair over. And the more efficient panel, they're typically going to cost a bit more per watt. So with Tesla being at 20.5, it's a little bit under what I would consider a premium threshold. Now for degradation, Tesla does guarantee that these panels will lose no more than 0.45% per year. And if you run the math out to year 25, you're looking at roughly an 87% guarantee at the end of those 25 years within the warranty. That's perfectly in line with your standard panels today. Premium options, they're going to be a little bit closer to 90%. Some panels are even around 92% for their 25-year guarantee. So again, this is right in line with your standard options, but it's a little low for premium options within residential solar at this point. Now, the warranty itself is the 25 years, both for the product and the performance, like we just mentioned. And again, that is standard for today. Some panels, they're going to even be up around 30 years, but I think with how reliable solar panels are in general, this is mostly irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. So when we look at wattage, efficiency, warranty term, and degradation, the quick statistical summary here is that Tesla created a very solid solar panel, but the numbers aren't anything special. However, here's where things get a little interesting. Tesla built something they're calling an 18-zone power architecture into these panels, and it's gotten a lot of attention. And when a solar panel gets shaded, that section becomes a roadblock for the electrical current. But by having these smaller zones, this lets the current bypass around it instead of getting stuck. So if you have 6 of the 18 zones being shaded by a chimney or a tree or whatever it might be, you still have the other 12 zones of the solar panel operating, which just results in a larger amount of the surface area that is generating power. Now, most panels will have this technology with 3 to 6 power zones. So having 18 is certainly an added perk to the Tesla system since they do operate with a string inverter, both with their Powerwall and their standalone solar inverter. However, I would love to see some side-by-side real-world data on all of this because the question that I have, and I'm sure many of you also have that I don't have the answer to, is this a meaningful upgrade? And honestly, I'm not sure it is. I mean, on paper, it seems like a net benefit if you experience shade, but it also seems like it could be a lot of marketing. Now, regardless of all of that, just like with most things Tesla, they paid close attention to the aesthetics. This panel has a clean, all black look like we'd expect, and it's using Tesla's proprietary railless mount. So it does feature a lower profile on the roof altogether. And one quick thing worth mentioning, these panels aren't exclusive to Tesla directly. They're available to all Tesla certified installers. So if you're working with a certified installer, this could be an option that they carry. And if you are new to the channel here, welcome. My name is Zach. I've been in the solar industry for more than a decade. And if you want to see if a Tesla system could make sense for your home, check out the link in the description below to schedule a discovery call with me. It's completely free, takes just 15 minutes, and there is zero pressure. I can work with homeowners in all 50 states. So if you think that could assist you in your situation, check it out. Side note as well, I put together a PDF resource that recaps everything covered in this video. You can download it by visiting the second link in the description below. It's my gift to you for the very low price of $0. If you'd like to pay anything above that, I do appreciate your support. Now, all of these specs are cool, but how does this panel hold up against what's already out there on the market today? So let's go ahead and compare it to a 410 watt panel from Qcells. Now, why this panel? Why not something more premium? It's because this is one of the most widely installed panels in the US over the past several years. It's domestically assembled in Georgia, and it lands in a very similar installer price range to Tesla's new offering. And in fact, this is the exact panel Tesla used quite often before they rolled out this new panel. I'm going to go ahead and spare you on talking through each line item and all of these specs, but here's everything you need to know for both options side by side. If you download that PDF that I mentioned earlier, it will include all of this information right there, as well as links to both panels' data sheets. And the bottom line of all of this, these two panels right here, they are very neck and neck, and they're going to accomplish the same simple goal, which is reliably generating solar power for a long period of time. So outside of some of these features and all of the marketing, what actually sets Tesla apart? Now for Tesla, I don't think it's about having the best solar panel. I think it's about having a good solar panel with the best manufacturing. And this is why I'm also cautiously excited and optimistic about Tesla's direction here. Now, this new solar panel is going to be manufactured at their Gigafactory in Buffalo, New York. Now, I worked for SolarCity and then Tesla back in 2015 through 2017 when they were spinning up production at the Buffalo Gigafactory. The original vision was that this factory was going to be purpose-built for their solar panels and their solar roof tiles. And since then, it really never became what they had hyped up, neither for the solar panels or for the solar roof. But if we fast forward to today, here we are, this tiny little red circle right here. This represents 300 megawatts of capacity, which is their current output at the Gigafactory in Buffalo, New York. And 300 megawatts, it's the same as 0.3 of 1 gigawatt, and 1 gigawatt of power. It is the equivalent to around one average size nuclear power plant. And that level of output can meet the power demand for about 750,000 homes or 20-ish large data centers. So why am I telling you all of this? Well, Elon recently stated that the goal for Tesla is 100 gigawatts of US solar manufacturing capacity before the end of 2028, which that would be this green circle right here. But it's very well known that Elon overpromises almost every single timeline. So I'd be hesitant to believe this projection. But for me, I'm not so much hung up on the number or the timeline as much as I just really like the intent, because this circle right here, this represents the manufacturing capacity of every US panel maker combined, which that's around 60 gigawatts. And as a country, we are so far behind in this sector. Just to put all of this in perspective, this circle right here, I know lots of circles, this represents the manufacturing capacity of China. In China, they currently control roughly 80% of the global solar supply chain. Their estimates are 1,200 gigawatts or more of manufacturing capacity per year. So in terms of present day comparisons, what the entire US industry can manufacture in a single year, China can do in about 3 weeks. So without a doubt, China is crushing us in this department. So when Tesla talks about domestic manufacturing at this level of scale, this isn't just about American jobs. It's about them copying their Powerwall playbook, but with solar panels. This is a legitimate competitive strategy for them to create more power supply, drive down costs, bypass tariffs and policy restrictions, and then also just take way more control over the manufacturing process. Now, if they can get their manufacturing capacity up in the US and then use that integration to bring installation costs down further, that's a genuinely compelling long-term value proposition, not just for homeowners and installers, but for the entire US energy industry as a whole. Now, if you found this video helpful, do me a huge favor, hit the like button. It really does help the channel grow. And if you want to learn more about Tesla's Powerwall 3, check out my top FAQ video right here on the screen. This video is a fantastic starting point for anyone who is researching this product specifically. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk next time.